this corner, followed by millions, James the Exploding Unicorn Breakwell. And in that corner, ignored by millions, Steve da Shrink Olivas. All right, thank you, everybody. We are, man, I'm so excited. Not even an I, this is a we. The Exploding Unicorn, James Breakwell, and me, Steve Olivas, together on Moot Point. James, do we have a good connection here?
I can hear you, unfortunately, so let's do this.
All right. Moot Point, and just a quick orientation for the listeners. We are going to argue about points that everybody argues about. And yet, resolution is never really gained. We're going to get to some resolution here on the show. We're going to take 12 minutes of your life that you may never get back, but we will reach some kind of conclusion that will benefit you in life. All right. Today, James, what are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about something very important to every single human being, toilet paper. This might be the only issue that matters to all of us.
All of us, yeah.
All of us.
And what is the point that people tend to argue about when it comes to toilet paper?
Overhand versus underhand. I didn't realize this was a debate because I do it the right way. But apparently, some misguided souls will either put it, we'll roll it the other way. And we need to fix that.
I've been scolded for doing it the wrong way by my wife, who has a very clear idea of what the correct way is. But how are we going to decide who takes which side?
Well, do you have a coin?
I actually do. Usually I just carry like a wad of hundreds with me, but today...
I would accept a flipped wad of hundreds.
Well, I've got 1 penny and some crumpled up singles with me today. I danced last night, so I was businessman in town.
I'm surprised you made a penny.
I needed change, and I didn't have one of those things that the people on roller skates have at the drive-in. But, all right, so I do have a lucky penny with me, and we'll call heads overhand toilet paper and tails underhand, all right? So you call it in the air, my friend.
All right, I got this.
All right, that didn't come through on the mic very... Hold on a second, I got to look at the floor. All right, we've got... Wait, did you call heads or tails?
I didn't call anything. I called tails. Well, I didn't call it. I was going to call it. You didn't leave me time, my friend.
It's literally tails. I'm not kidding you.
All right.
It's laying here tails. All right.
This is good. I have complete faith in the integrity of the coin flip process, so I will trust you on this.
All right, so which side would you like to take?
I believe we said tails was underhand, which is good because that is the right side to take. I am on God's side here. So this is going to be a short argument. It's going to be decisive, and you're just going to be stunned to silence. That's how these things work. Although we skipped a vital point here.
What is the vital point?
Well, we didn't introduce each other. Oh. Because I believe in the name of civility, before I go in here and destroy you and possibly make you cry on air, we should introduce each other and say a few nice things.
I am an ugly crier, too, so I hope you go easy. But, all right, so go ahead. I'm curious to know if you can come up with a few nice things to say about me.
I came up with one nice thing to say about you. Because everybody knows that you have a doctorate in psychology. But what they don't know is it's a doctorate in turtle psychology. You are one of the nation's top turtle whisperers. Like that show where they go and they talk to the dogs and they fix them. You're like that, but for turtles.
Cesar Millan. I'm the turtle whisperer.
And it's incredible because your turtles have a very low suicide rate. You're good at curing turtle depression. Yeah. And in fact, now there were only 2 people in the business, and the other guy left the turtle business. You know why he left the turtle business?
I remember reading this a while ago, but remind me.
His business was slow.
Wow. And this is the kind of humor that you can expect if you jump on board with James Breakwell's argument style here.
Humor, I'm doing nothing but stating facts. This is just laying them out one on top of another.
Life writes its own jokes. Well, the upside of that doctorate was I got to go to Bora Bora for my internship, my residency, so that was kind of nice. James Breakwell, on the other hand, without having a doctorate, I believe, in fact, your degree is in English, and so you had to kind of cobble together a career. James Breakwell, the Exploding Unicorn, his claim to fame is that he once met Burt Reynolds while working at a topless car wash. And you can decide which one of them had fallen on hard enough times to start working at the topless car wash, but you want to talk a coin flip, that could have gone either way.
We still have each other's numbers. He'll call me up on birthdays and important occasions. It was a meaningful connection we had.
Yes, and baby. All right. All right, I will, just because we're going to go beauty before age, I will allow you, because we sort of messed up the coin toss logic. Like it didn't work out because I called the heads and the tails with the over and under, and then you called tails, which doesn't make a lot of sense. But I'll hold the door for you, Mr. Breakwell.
All right, so I'm going to go in here and explain to you why underhand is the right way. And I just want to say up front that I don't want you to take this personally. But the fact that you are defending overhand makes you a terrible person, and I have no respect for you anymore. Just so we're clear on that up front. I mean, I know this is all determined by a coin flip, but what happened is when you got the coin flip, then you found out you weren't going to defend underhand, you should have walked away. You should have walked away from the podcast. You should have walked away from the turtle business. You should have gone and been a hermit, but you didn't. You stuck with overhand, wow. And now you got to deal with the consequences.
Wow.
Because here's the deal with this. You do it overhand, okay? Overhand, the wrong way. You got the loose toilet paper hanging like, 4 inches off the wall? It's all out there.
4 inches?
And now,
you measure like a woman, but all right, go ahead.
How far does your toilet paper hang off the wall, Steve?
Off the wall? The thing is only like 1.5 inches, 2 inches from the wall. It's not 4 inches from the wall.
No, I'm talking the thickness of the toilet paper. You've got to factor in the thickness of the toilet paper. So a toilet paper roll is, I would say, 4 inches thick, maybe 5, somewhere in there. Give me an estimate here.
I know, but you cut that in half when you don't want to talk diameter. You want to talk radius here.
You're talking diameter. I'm talking distance from the wall for the hanging piece of toilet paper.
All right, for the sake of argument, let's just call it 3 inches. We'll split the difference.
That's ridiculous, but I will go forward just because we don't have time to argue. I feel like you've had this conversation with your wife before.
Oh, James, it's not a conversation, but go ahead.
Okay, so we're going to say 3 inches off the wall, probably 4. You've got this hanging out there, and maybe that's not a big deal in the Steve Olivas compound. You've got the Turtle Whisperer money. I've heard that each of your 9 bathrooms is like a country acre in size. My bathrooms aren't like that, okay? My bathrooms are like refrigerator boxes.
Oh, all right.
What? What 4.5 what?
I said it takes a turtle 4.5 days to walk from one end of the bathroom to the other, but keep going.
That is a valuable fact. Thank you for sharing that with us.
That's my expertise.
Anyway, you've got this toilet paper hanging out there. And again, you don't care if you lose those 3 inches. I do. I don't have space for that. I can't have this toilet paper up in here crowding me. It's getting all in my space. So it has to go the other way. I mean, really, it's honestly a health risk to have that toilet paper and hanging out there. Because think about it. Like, you're just in there to do your business, and you've got this loose piece of toilet paper dangling in your face because it's not up against the wall like if you roll it over underhand. It's out in the open. And you're thinking, man, I got to hurry up. That toilet paper's staring at me. I got to get in and get out. This is a job. And if you rush things in there, if you rush them, that is a health risk. You could have abdominal strain.
Wow.
I mean, you could just cause problems. You got medical bills. You have possibly death. I mean, it's just not a road you want to go down. More importantly,
Let me write that down. Hold on.
Yeah, all right. I just want you to understand the risks, okay? I am trying to save your life. Even though you were a bad person, I want you to live.
I don't know that that's been firmly established, but just I don't want to interrupt your obviously articulate point here.
Okay, so also, if the toilet paper is dangling out there in front of you and not up against the wall, right, as it should be, it encourages overusage. I mean, all you can see is the toilet paper. It takes up like 100% of your field of view, and you're going to use extra. And that's going to be a problem, too. I mean, it's going to cause...
It's another number issue, 100% field of view. All right, go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry I don't have wide turtle eyes like you that can see to the side. I look straight ahead. That the toilet paper is 100% of my vision. So anyway, you're going to use more. And what that's going to do is it's going to clog up the sewer system, which is going to cause issues. You know, we got sewers to remove disease, remove bacteria, remove all these things. You're using excess toilet paper with the overhand roll. You've got a backup, and all of a sudden dysentery comes back into the picture. I don't know about you, but I am done with dysentery. And that is why I roll it underhand. Furthermore, yes, there is more.
English major word, but all right.
I'm sorry. I will tone it down. I will keep words to 4 letters or less for the sake of Steve.
A turtle has 6, but anyway.
Not the way you spell it. Anyway. You've got this keeps families together. When you roll it when you roll it underhand, when you've got the loose side back by the wall. Because if you've got a toddler, which I've got a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old right now.
27 kids, yes.
Yes, and for some reason, for some unknown reason, you were able to reproduce too. And at one point in your life, you also had toddlers. And you know, if you roll that roll overhand, you've got that loose leaf hanging out there in the open, what's going to happen? Some toddler's going to come
in. What you've said.
Well, yes. Besides death, though, something worse. They're going to unravel the toilet paper roll, and it's going to cause a big old mess.
Worse than death. All right.
Yeah. I'm not stuttering here, Steve. These are very clear points.
No, listen, messy bathroom and death, it's a coin toss to me.
Okay, so you've got the toilet paper. It's all unrolled. You're going to go in there. You've got to take your time to re-roll. This is like the 10th time it's happened. You're going to be angry. You're going to put your toddler in timeout. This is going to be an ongoing thing. There's going to be resentment. They're going to run away when they're 16, and they're either going to get murdered or murder somebody. I mean, there's only 2 ways that could end. So
one of us will sound angry. All right, good.
Also, I'm not done yet. You got to take into account cats. Because same thing, you got the toilet paper overhand, the cat's going to unravel that toilet paper. It's just what cats do. They don't have anything else to do in their lives. They go in there, they unravel that toilet paper. Well, you can't ground a cat, no matter how hard you try. So what do? You say, I can solve this problem. I will just close the bathroom door. Big mistake. Because remember those backups we got from the sewage from using too much toilet paper? Well, you're going to have sewer gases coming back in occasionally. If you keep that door closed, you're going to have a sewer gas buildup. You could have an explosion. You could lose your entire house. All because you rolled your toilet paper overhand, a cat unraveled it, you closed the door, boom. Makes complete sense, point by point by point.
When your side of the argument is so tight, I don't even know how I can fight this, but let me try for a minute.
All right, go for it.
And first of all, we're already over 11 minutes here in the broadcast, and so right now people... But you're impassioned, and I appreciate that. You make me want to push a candle through a paper plate and start singing in front of the houses of people who do it the right way, overhand.
We could. I could meet you tonight. We can start.
Yes, well, not when you're jacked up like this. I'm afraid you would be going through my bathrooms ranting, and I'm not having that happen again.
Trying to save your life, Steve. That's all I'm doing here.
But I just wanted to say, James, I had no idea you were that fragile, that death, your own personal death, could occur if someone put the toilet paper on incorrectly. So the fact that you can even move through life without injuring yourself is quite a testimony to how cautious you have become.
I am a marvel of safety.
But when you talk about a target to train your eyes at, that's why overhand is so important. And by the way, if you look up the patent for toilet paper and the toilet paper roll, and I know that John Crapper was the guy who invented the toilet. John Roller was the guy who invented the toilet paper roll.
That is a fact.
It's documented somewhere. I read it on the internet. But the patent even has a schematic. You know, when you apply to the patent office, you've got to put through a schematic that kind of has a breakdown from an engineering standpoint of how your thing works and how it's engineered. It actually shows toilet paper in the overhand position. So in the Library of Congress, it is listed as the correct way to do the toilet paper.
Can we take a moment to marvel at the fact that at some point in our history, someone had the brilliant idea to apply to the patent office for toilet paper? There was a time in history when toilet paper did not exist.
No, you tore it out of the Sears catalog. That's the way it worked.
And you know what? You didn't have to worry about rolling it either. There were no rolling dangers. Anyway, I will tear apart your point later. Go ahead.
All right.
Continue.
James, you being an English major, I'm sure you've come across the word hyperbolic. And that's what I wanted to say about many of your arguments. Not specious necessarily, but hyperbolic to be sure. The fact that you think a toddler can die over toilet paper is absurd to me, especially when you factor in that we're talking about people who own cats. And if anyone owns a cat, right away they're taking their toddler's life into jeopardy, into their own hands in the first place. Those are people who probably don't even use toilet paper. But be that as it may, I just will hearken back to the argument of there is a correct and an incorrect way to do things, and why not take the point of view of the person who invented the gadget in the first place? Wouldn't they, above anyone else, know how to use the product?
Okay, so what I hear you saying is that because
I gave you the talking stick now. That's good. Good therapeutic move. My turtles never do this, by the way.
This is true, and that's why they have such a low suicide rate. And again, I commend you for that.
Because they're not married.
You're doing right. So let's walk it back here. So just because some guy in the 1800s drew a picture of toilet paper overhand, that's how we've got to keep doing it. Like, the initial inventor of something does not mean it can't be improved upon. Like, when Steve Jobs invented the first Apple IIe, did that mean that we could never get to the iPhone? It's like, well, he did it this way first, and that's the final way. There have been improvements. There have been 150 years of technological advances and science that tell us now we need to put the toilet paper the other way. And as for being fragile, anything can kill you. You should be aware of this at this point. I mean, with all the bad decisions you made, I mean, I am honestly amazed you were still above ground. It's the butterfly effect. You just start with that one bad decision, and it can destroy your family. And that's where we're at. And let me get to another point. I didn't even get through all my points yet, but I wanted to give you a chance to talk.
We got all day.
We had 12 minutes and we're past it. But let me get to another point here. Another point. Have you ever seen those people who fold the tip of the toilet paper into a triangle?
Every maid in every hotel I've ever been in does that.
You consider how much labor is wasted on doing that. The fact that you have to have somebody go into each of these rooms back and forth. The toilet paper gets used. I mean, that's the whole point. It has to fold this up. And then the next person in there, it's not like you appreciate that. You just tear off that piece. You're not going to formally fold the toilet paper, and you use the next one. And then people in their own homes feel the pressure to compete with this. In your guest bathroom that you don't use very much, when somebody comes over, well, I have to fold this up. And you've got all this pressure and all this anxiety. If you just roll your toilet paper backwards, nobody can even see it. I mean, it's kind of hidden back there. There is no folding. If you factor in, how many hotels do you think there are in the country? Give me an estimate. You're our numbers guy, apparently.
200, maybe 3?
Okay, your numbers are garbage, but let's say there are 10,000 hotels.
That's
how
fair.
many maids in each hotel?
Well, that's quite a range. We'll average it at 12.
12. Okay, so now you've got 120,000 maids with 100 rooms each, folding these things into triangles. Think about how many thousands, maybe millions of man hours are wasted every day doing this. And just think, if we channeled all that labor into something productive. And we could if we just rolled our toilet paper backwards. I mean, you are literally killing the U.S. economy by what you're doing here, Steve. I hope you feel ashamed of yourself.
Well, I feel shame for so many reasons that have nothing to do with toilet paper. I actually, I'm the converse of that, because I think if you roll it overhand, it doesn't burn calories, because I don't see it as anxiety. I see it as an opportunity for artistic expression. And I fold mine into the shape of a swan. Once in a while, I'll do, like for the Super Bowl, I did an origami, like quarterback dropping back in the pocket with the outside of the toilet paper.
Important question. Which quarterback?
What, Tom Brady? Is there any more than one quarterback in the U.S.?
Well, you know what? I feel it appropriate that you cover Tom Brady in poop, so I support this.
Yeah, you from the land of Peyton Manning, yes. Anyway, so it allows me an opportunity outside of a podcast like this with such an esteemed guest who's going to die because his toilet paper's 4 inches off the wall. But
what happened to co-host?
Oh, I'm sorry. Co-host.
I am hurt. I have been removed from my own podcast. We're one episode in, Steve. Are we going to have this conversation already?
It's the beauty that I can hang up on you anytime. And still keep recording on just how awful this argument was from your side of the fence. No, I do apologize for that. I'm used to doing my own show, and that's just written into the way I think. But yes, and I don't remember what I was saying right now, but the esteemed
co-host. It was garbage anyway, so don't worry about it.
That's right. We'll take care of that in post. But artistic expression, you can have a little bit of flair. And I have gone into hotels where the Kleenex is folded into a nice rose when I walk in. And what a refreshing little welcome to our establishment that can be.
And think about how that maid feels after she spent 3 minutes folding it into a rose when you blow your snot into it.
She's thinking, I ducked my boss for another 3 minutes, thank God.
You're crushing her will to live, man. You might be curing turtle depression, but you're causing depression everywhere else, everywhere you go.
I just say the proof is in the pudding. How much depression in turtles do you hear about anymore?
Well, if they could talk, you'd probably hear about more. But I think the problem is they die silently. Everybody's like, well, that poor turtle rolled over on his back by accident. You think those turtle rollovers are accidents? You think turtles are that dumb? You see a turtle on its back. That was self-inflicted. We just don't like to talk about it. It doesn't get a lot of coverage in the press.
The Galapagos Islands used to be filled with the screams of angry and depressed turtles, but no more.
The screaming turtles are extinct, aren't they? I guess you would be the one who knew, but I thought they were gone finally.
We got to get out of here, man. Are you good?
I will just have one final decisive point. Feng Shui, by the principles of Feng Shui.
Oh, no.
Well, hold on a second. We got crying here. We're going to have to edit this. Let's hold on here.
All right.
Okay.
It didn't come through, but one of your
Oh, well, that's good. Then I personally ruined the podcast. I appreciate that.
Well, that started 19 minutes ago, but go ahead.
Anyway, by the principles of Feng Shui, the toilet paper should be against the wall. And I, for some reason, am an expert on Feng Shui. You can trust me on that. You can look it up, but also don't look it up. I feel like as a podcaster, you should just trust what I say. So if you put the toilet paper against the wall, you have the good energies coming through, and you'll have a good, healthy experience. But if you have the toilet paper overhand, you're just penting up those bad spirits, and they're going to be all up in your business. And I don't know how your bathroom works, but I don't need bad spirits in my business. So, I mean, we've got the logical science end, and we've got the spiritual end. I mean, there's really no other way. You've got to roll it over or underhand. I almost said the wrong thing. Underhand.
Just as a matter of point, did Feng Shui originate in the early 1800s, or does it seem to date back pre-toilet paper? I'm not sure how to resolve these conflicts in my head.
The beautiful thing is it can incorporate future things, kind of like how other religions have opinions on issues that come up later. You know, Christianity didn't have an opinion on internet pornography until 1990, but you know what? It sure has an opinion on it, and I think Feng Shui can have an opinion on toilet paper direction too.
All right, an Asian Nostradamus. All right, I got you. All right, well,
I'm out of arguments.
Let's roll out of here. I'm sure everybody will leave this conversation knowing that they've got to follow the original patent and put it overhand.
I thought we were going to follow science and logic here. I was severely misled, but I'm pretty sure they're going to agree with me because I was loud and angry. And if there's one thing in America, that counts for everything.
Well, you've got to be outraged as well.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Until next time, this is Steve Olivas for the Unicorn, James Breakwell saying, let us know what you think. Follow us on Twitter. James is at Exploding Unicorn, and that's Exploding Unicorn. Actually, now, James, I tell you what, in my Twitter feed, if I just search for the letter X, you pop up first. Not even kidding about that. At Exploding Unicorn for James Breakwell, I'm at Steve Olivas, Steve with a V, Olivas. Follow us on Twitter, and take a listen next time when we come at you with Moot Point. Thanks, everybody.